Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Tay, and I am here yet again with another update video. So definitely make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video you will be notified. So we're literally going to jump right into things. I do want to let you guys know that majority of today is going to be about what's going on in California. Just want to let you guys know beforehand. I have not got a chance to check the emergency SNAP maximum benefits for the month of October to see if any more states have been approved, but we are going to do that at the end of the video. But jumping right in, okay, so a couple of things. Like I said, majority of this is in California. So we've got Governor Newsom abolishes most single family zoning in California. So I did speak about this a while back. Basically they were talking about putting more, I guess, apartment complexes on streets where there are mainly houses and stuff. And some of you guys did kind of give your feedback. Some of you guys were like, it doesn't matter. Some of you guys were saying it's a problem, and that if you pay good money to be in a certain area, then you don't want an apartment building next to you because of the people that you think are going to be in there, which it's not nice, by the way. But anyways, and one of his first actions after surviving an election seeking to oust him from office, our Governor Gavin Newsom on Thursday essentially abolished single-family zoning in California and green-lighted a series of bills intended to bolster the state's housing production. Okay, by signing Senate Bill 9 into law, Newsom opened the door for the development of up to 4 residential units on single family lots across California. So that's not too bad. 4 residential units, that's kind of like I want to say like a townhouse, because if you get a townhouse, depending on the size of the property, from what I've seen, this just is what I've seen, a townhouse can have 2 properties in the front, you know, side by side. The door is literally side by side, and then maybe in the back there's 2. The only thing that I don't like about townhouses and just in apartments in general is the fact that we don't have a yard, you know what I mean? And maybe that's just relevant to me myself, which is why I want to get out of here and get a house, even if I have to rent it for a while, because I need a front yard. I need somewhere where I can go outside and reconnect with the earth and put my feet in the grass and just meditate and chill and all of that. And I feel like a lot of that flexibility in having your own home is taken away when you live in an apartment complex. Doesn't really necessarily have anything to do with what I'm talking about, but I just wanted to throw that in there. But anyways, the move follows a growing push by local governments to allow multifamily dwellings in more residential neighborhoods. Berkeley voted to eliminate single-family zoning by December of 2022, and San Jose is set to consider the issue next month. While opponents fear such a sweeping change will destroy the character of residential neighborhoods, supporters hail it as a necessary way to combat the state's persistent housing crisis and correct city zoning laws that have contributed to racial segregation. Okay, so that is a really big issue. And to be perfectly honest, like I was saying at the beginning of this video, there was a lot of you guys who did voice your opinions about it, because I asked, you know what I mean? It's okay to debate things respectfully. And a lot of you guys did say some things to me that kind of pointed more towards, how can I say it? Because I don't want YouTube to, you know, strike me or whatever. But it did kind of point towards prejudice, so to speak, you know what I mean? Like I said, there were a lot of you guys, not a lot, let me take that back, there were a couple of you guys, and I don't even know if they were subscribers or if they were just someone that was just strolling through and just so happened to drop a comment, but there were a couple of you guys that basically said that they didn't want apartments, like I said, in certain areas where they feel like they've paid a lot of money for. They didn't want apartments in those areas because they were more so worried about the type of people that were going to be moving. Like, they already had a set idea of who were going to be moving into these apartment complexes, which is, like I said earlier, that's not nice, because you don't know who's going to move in there. You don't know if it's going to be 4 elderly couples. You don't know if it's going to be a single mom with 1 child. You don't know if it's going to be a single dad. You don't know if it's going to be a black person. You don't know if it's going to be a Caucasian person. You don't know if it's going to be a Latino person. You have no idea what it's going to be. You know what I mean? So, and you have no idea what the character of these people are going to be. It doesn't matter what color you are, what age you are. You know what I'm saying? I've seen idiots and fools come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Okay, let's just put that out there. So, you know, let me see, let's get back to what was going on here. But I know that that is an issue. That the reality is that that's why this bill hasn't gone through in the past, is because a lot of people feel that way, especially in politics. Okay, so I'm actually glad he was able to get this push through, because the reality is we need help with the housing crisis, not just for homelessness. We already know is just out of control. It is ridiculously, overwhelmingly high in certain areas in California, mainly downtown LA, and that's because that's the only area that I have lived close to for pretty much all my life, and I've seen it grow just disastrously wild down there. But also for other areas of the population, for people who are struggling, people who are low income, and people who are low income, again, low income doesn't have anything to do with a person's character. Okay, a person's character is going to be a person's character whether they have money or not. Like I said, I've seen people, shameful people, idiots and fools in all shapes, sizes, and ages. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're rich, because I've seen quite a few idiots, like our last president, who is very abundantly wealthy but still lacks common sense, just basic human respect principles. So I just want to put that out there. The housing affordability crisis is undermining the California dream for families across the state and threatens our long-term growth and prosperity. Newsom wrote in a news release, making a meaningful impact on this crisis will take bold investment, strong collaboration across sectors, and political courage from our leaders and communities to do the right thing and build housing for all. Enough said there. Beautifully said there. Definitely going to take some teamwork to get this initiative up and rolling, and I hope that they actually work on creating more houses, not just these houses, but just creating more houses for programs that have already been that are already established. HUD needs help, Section 8 needs help, public housing needs help. Okay. It goes on to talk a little bit more about Newsom's promises that he made when he took office, to attack California's drastic housing shortage in his first year, and that he landed a budget that included a record $1 billion to fight homelessness and $1.75 billion to build more homes, launched a homelessness task force, and put forward a plan that for the first time would find cities that defied production rules. Okay, so hopefully we see this come to fruition. All right, hopefully we see him actually follow through on everything that he has promised us, especially since he's maintained his seat in office. He needs to come on with it. Okay. All right, so that is enough about that. Some interesting news that I found. It says LA County announces modified quarantine options for unvaccinated students. Now, I saw this, this was like a week ago, and I didn't get a chance to read it to you guys. But of course, it's interesting. It was just interesting for me to know, to come across, and I wanted to share it. It says Los Angeles County public health officials announced last Thursday that they're offering school districts the option to allow unvaccinated students who have come into contact with a positive a person who have tested positive for to continue attending in-person classes under strict guidelines. The modified quarantine option for K-12 students will only be offered under certain conditions. County Public Health Director Barbara Ferris said in a briefing, adding that schools and school districts are not required to offer the modified option and may choose to continue with the customary quarantine requirements. Okay, these are about our babies. This is why this is important to me. This is about our kids, K through 12. Okay, kindergarten through 12th grade. They don't have to offer anything other than the customary quarantine requirements. Okay, but basically, if your child has come into contact with someone who has had a positive test, they can still attend school, but they're trying to cut down on the spread. How is that possible when you're allowing this to go on? It's kind of a contradiction to me. But moving on, the announcement comes as they feel the cases declined over the last 3 weeks across all pediatric age groups by about 40% under the modified option. An unvaccinated student who has had exposure to a positive tested person can continue in-person instruction at school, but must restrict all activities outside of what's necessary for their academic instruction. Those who qualify for modified quarantine include close contacts whose exposure took place at school or at a school supervised activity when both the close contact and the case were masked during the entire exposed period, and the close contacts are not a part of a defined outbreak. A defined outbreak, they give you an explanation. A defined outbreak is when 3 or more linked cases with a probable transmission in schools or school activities occurs. Okay. She goes on to talk about how you have to be super careful, which to me again is a contradiction. You telling people to be super careful, but at the same time you're saying you want kids to still come to school even though you know that they have been exposed to a person who have had a positive case. Again, everybody's body is different, you know what I mean? We don't know how one baby's going to react to it, how the next baby's going to react to it. All children are not asymptomatic, meaning that they show absolutely no symptoms. Some children, from what I've seen in the news, have actually been very, 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 very sick. And some of them have not pulled through. Some of them have, some of them haven't. So it's the same thing with adults. I'm not exactly sure why they're doing this. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it just further adds to my own personal thoughts and opinions about what's going on with the government, and how I feel like they absolutely give they care very little to none at all about the American people, especially our babies. Our babies are the future, and you're not even protecting them, which is why my baby is at home. To apply a modified quarantine, several criteria must be met. First, the exposed students must remain asymptomatic for the duration of the period. They must stay home except for, so that, again, that makes no sense to me. So they have to be asymptomatic, meaning they're not showing any symptoms, right? But if they pass it to somebody else because they're still coming to school, and what if that person is not asymptomatic? I just said, like, it just doesn't make any sense. They must stay home except for classroom educational instruction activities. They need to continue to always wear a mask indoors, outdoors, and on the school bus, except for when they're eating and drinking. While they're eating and drinking, these students need to maintain at least 6-foot distance from others, and ideally they should be eating and drinking outdoors. Students in modified quarantine must also be tested twice a week during their quarantine. The first test is recommended to take place 1 or 2 days after exposure, while the second test should be 5 days or later. Modified quarantine can end when the second test is done at least 5 days after the exposure and the test is negative. Okay, I think you guys pretty much get the gist of this article. I'm about done with it because it's irritating me very badly right now. I mean, to be perfectly honest. Now, one of the last things that I did want to talk about with you guys is the Golden State stimulus too. I know I'm looking real sweaty, you guys. I'm not sweating. It is hot. Today is a hot day. Just a little break in the seriousness because that was kind of, peeing me off right there. It was pissing me off a little bit. But anyways, I have oil on my face. I just moisturized my face, did my little skincare routine or whatever, and I put oil on my face because it is a hot day, it is a dry day, and I am going to attempt to do a makeup application today and try to record it for you guys. So I wanted to just make sure that my face was really, really moisturized. So if I'm glistening, you guys, it is because of the face oil that I have on my face, not because I'm sweating. I'm just kept looking at my face and I'm like, oh my God. But anyways, so talking about the Golden State stimulus, this actually came out, when did they start talking about this? I saw quite a few articles last week, but I didn't want to talk about it just then because I wanted to wait till we're a little bit closer to when some of the payments are going to actually be going out. Now, as far as I know, some of the payments have started to go out via direct deposit as of the 17th of September. Hold up. I'm trying to get to this article because this one was better. Okay, so the last batch of payments to some 2 million Californians was sent last week on September the 17th, which was Friday. So September the 17th on Friday, you guys check your accounts because you may have had a little surprise deposit for that. Okay, another batch of payments will be sent out on October the 5th. That's also going to be direct deposit. And by that time, I saw another article that said that they are going to start distributing paper checks is what I'm trying to say. Paper checks are going to go out as of October the 4th, I believe it said in the last article. So you're going to have another batch of payments going out as of via direct deposit October the 5th, and then you're going to have them starting to send out payments via paper checks mailed to everybody who got their tax return via mailed, or if you did a tax, a tax advance with your tax preparer, then they're going to send you out a paper check too, because they don't have your direct deposit information on file. The tax preparer that you use, i.e. Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, they have your direct deposit, but the IRS doesn't have your direct deposit. Okay, so I just want to make that clear for you guys, just in case you guys are like, but I use direct deposit. If you got that tax advance, you're going to get a paper check. Okay, it says it may take a few business days for the payments to show up through direct deposit, depending on your bank. You guys already know this. It really just depends on your bank if they decide to release those funds. It's not saying anything to suggest that other than September 17th, there is another actual payout date that's available. So I believe that if your deposit was put in there on the 17th, it should be available as of the 17th. Okay, so check your bank accounts if you haven't already. And then for everybody else, check again on October the 5th, and then be watching your mail as of October the 4th. Let me see how long it says it's going to take. It may take up to 3 weeks for the paper checks to arrive once they are mailed. Okay. The board will continue to send the money through batches of direct deposits and paper checks with the hope of issuing nearly all payments by the end of the year, which is not too far from now. To be eligible for the payments, Californians must file their 2020 tax returns by October 15th. Only those who made less than $75,000 in 2020. I'm reading this out even though I went over this with you guys, but because there are a couple of you guys who are either new or either just skipped through my other videos and wasn't paying attention, who have asked me these questions about what did you need to file your taxes. Yes, you have to have filed your tax return for 2020. Okay, and if you haven't done so already, you have up until October the 15th. You have to have made $75,000 or less in 2020 are eligible, and they must have been a California resident for more than half of 2020. Those who don't have dependents will only get $600, while those who do will get $1,100. So if you receive the first payment, I'm just going over this information again. Y'all hear my son down there fussing at his dad? You know why that is? Because he's spoiled, and his dad just kind of negotiates with him and lets him run him. I don't. I go down there and I'm a little bit different, but I don't negotiate. I just kind of, I kind of first hush that noise, and then you need to communicate and tell me. Because if you can sit there and wail and scream, then that means that you can talk. But basically, like I was saying, hopefully he stops because that's annoying me. If you already got the first round of Golden State stimulus checks, the $600, but you have dependents, then you're only going to be receiving $500. And it is not $500 per child. It's just $500 per household. Okay, so now that we have gotten that out of the way, I am going to look at the emergency SNAP maximum benefits, because I know that is you guys' holy grail. And for whatever the reason may be, you guys have dubbed me oh, wait a minute now. We got 5 additional, no, not 5 additional, 5 states in total that has been added to this list. So I'm going to turn this camera around and we're going to look at those together. That way y'all can't come at me for giving you the wrong date, because you will have read it yourself on the United States Department of Agriculture. So give me a minute, y'all. Oakley dokley, guys. Hopefully you can see me up there in the corner. Let me redirect myself. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to refresh so that we can get all of the names of the states. All right, and there we are right here for October. Y'all see that? We got Maine, New Jersey, Rhode Island, Wisconsin, and Wyoming, just like magic. Okay, so let's click on them and let's get those payout dates. Maine, we have, hold on, I'm trying to readjust myself. Just looking at October, because I'm going to write them down at the same time. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. All right, so for Maine, I'm going to scroll up here to see if the information is on here. Hold up. Here we go, you guys. For Maine, right here, October the 7th, okay? October the 7th. Let's go back. New Jersey, October. New Jersey through the first through the 5th. I'm just going to highlight the name there. And this right here, it says the 1st through the 5th for New Jersey. I'm writing that down. Okay, got that. Rhode Island. I think I already have Wisconsin written down, but I'll check once I get to that part on my paper. Okay, right here at the top, Rhode Island, it says October the 3rd. Okay. And separate from your regular issuance schedule. It says that here, just so you guys know, right here, in parentheses, separate from Rhode Island's regular issuance schedule. Okay, Rhode Island, Wisconsin, I have already written down. That's October the 16th, and then a final run December the 11th. So let's just skip over to Wyoming. See what they talking about over there. Okay, for Wyoming, let's go down. Okay, Wyoming. Oh, okay, so same as usual. They just have it written here all complicated for what reason. But this really large paragraph here is basically the same. It says no EA, no emergency allotment files will be sent to our EBT processor until on or after October 1st. So both emergency allotments to bring up to the max allotment for household size or an emergency allotment of $95, whichever is greater, will be issued the day after regular SNAP benefits are issued, and is going based off of the, I believe that's the first initial of your last name. A through D, October the 2nd, E through K, October the 3rd, L through R, October the 4th, S through Z, October the 5th. Okay, and the new clients are issued emergency allotments the day after their initial approval. So as usual, it's going to be October the 2nd through the 5th for everybody, but it's going to be based off of the initial of your last name, I believe. First initial of your last name. So I am writing that down, you guys, just in case you are wondering. First initial of last name, and then new cases or new apps day after. All right, you guys. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on here. I don't think there's anything else on here that's relevant right now. Let's go back to that page one more time, just so you guys can get a quick look yourself. All right, so here we are one more time before we wrap up this video. Acknowledged extensions through October of 2021, as you guys can see here. Okay, as reported on the USDA website, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states that have currently been approved. And for the last time, maybe not the last time, but here are the states for September. Let me make that a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see that. Give y'all a couple of seconds to kind of look at that, just so you can locate your state name, just in case for whatever reason you are not subscribed to my channel and you haven't watched any of my previous videos. Okay. All right, you guys. So on that note, as always, I hope this information was in some way helpful or useful to you guys. You know, I absolutely love coming through and providing this information, and I will continue to do so. But definitely make sure you guys smash that like button. As always, drop some comments down below. Let me know what you thought about today's information. Don't forget to follow me on social media. Remember, it is just a simple question. It's an option, not an obligation. Okay, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I will leave that information down below in the description box, as well as some discount codes for those of you guys who are seriously considering either subscribing to either Ipsy or BoxyCharm, as well as purchasing some cosmetics just for yourself. Check out the description box down below. And on that note, as always, you guys, I'm going to say remember to live, love, and elevate. Hopefully I get my beauty video out today. I don't know what time it's going to be. It's probably going to be later because I want to do a wear test. But on that note, you guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace, beautiful people.